stadium known for its design, its noise, and a fan base so passionate. Brock, you know this firsthand. They've retired a jersey number for them. Welcome, everybody, to Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Today, a pair of NFC West teams face off between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. Here on the Rams sideline, head coach Sean McVay. These guys almost halfway towards perfection. They're 8-0 entering this one. On the opposite side, that's Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald. These guys are ready, as they always are, to play in front of this home crowd. Here come the Rams on offense, ready for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by someone that we'll get a look at here, this second-year passer.
And you could feel it, Kate. He wasn't content at any point of last week's game. As he led them to a win, he kept pushing higher and higher. 300 yards, 350, 400, and he was still thriving, driving the ball downfield as the game ended with a good bit over 400 yards. With this mindset, that's the minimum bar for him to attack this week.
It was the rookie from Ohio State there to bring him down.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8. From the 32. Getting out to his left. He tucks it and takes off. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy in midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Pass play coming here. Catch is made down the right sideline. To the house, touchdown LA! The Rams finish off their opening drive. And that right there, Brock, is a touchdown I think our fellow broadcaster Greg Olsen would be proud of. A big strike to the tight end that I don't think a lot of receivers could have pulled off and make it look as easy.
You know, a lot of times you're splitting hairs talking about the differences between tight ends and receivers at this level, because a lot of those guys, they work the same route tree and they move with the football, well, just like their receiver teammates. And they can score some lengthy touchdowns too, just like he showed off.
And their quarterback ready to take over once again. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. Back to throw on 1st and 10. Flush down out to his left. Taking a deep shot there on 1st down. Okay, no luck connecting. It's incomplete. So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. They'll try and throw it here. Escapes the pocket. That one's caught along the left sideline. How about a big hitter? 30, 40 yards there and a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position by hitting on that shot. You've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Connects with the open man downfield. And he takes this in. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Rams take a 2nd quarter lead. You love seeing a tight end get the chance to show off those wheels, right? And in the best of cases, he could rumble the whole way home.
Kate, think of getting somebody with that type of mass rolling at full speed. Who's really going to want to stand in the way, wants to stop him anyhow? The answer, nobody.
ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And that lead they've got, Brock, they are never going to have to worry about losing it if they keep scoring every time they touch this football.
Is that how it works?
It surprisingly is. You know, if you have the lead and you don't lose it, you win.
And that type of start, well, you wanted all 17 games of the season, but you're lucky to get it more than once.
Makes a man miss. Oh, he's off. And he's going to set them up with a first down on a huge gain.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Throwing with a blitz on the way. Buys time, rolling right. Finds his back, Kyron Williams. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs.
Speaks to this guy's talent as just an all-around difference maker, playmaker. We see him line up as a receiver, and we don't even bat an eye, Kate. And we don't really bat an eye when he makes that kind of play either. This guy's just different, built for the moment.
He finds him in the end zone for an LA touchdown. The Rams grow the lead to 7. Well, we all know that he's somebody they like to have working down near the end zone, Brock, and there is so many ways they know how to use him down there.
Yeah, things are constantly different down there when you're trying to defend him, which is what makes defending him so tough, borderline impossible at times. He can make the smallest little tweaks to his route just like a receiver would, and it's a totally different animal, a nightmare for these defenses.
Are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And last drive, he reached one of those numbers that everyone looks at as a benchmark after the season ends, Brock. Quite the year that he's put together finding the end zone. They'll throw on first. Forced out to his right. Connects on the crosser. Keeps on moving into the red zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles! The Rams grow their lead just before halftime. That is as efficient as an offense can be. One play, 70 yards, and 6 points, Brock. They can save the rest of the plays they have prepared for their next series.
Rest of the plays? Why even call a different one? I mean, that one hit the sweet spot on the barrel and got out of the yard in a hurry. Perfect call to catch him sleeping to start that drive.
Headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. Play action on first down. He's got the hook up to Devontae Adams. He will not get any further, but plenty of progress already.
It's a gain of 25 yards. First down, Los Angeles.
From midfield now. Vacates quickly left side. Now we'll try a deep shot down the left side. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete. So a one-possession game, Brock, after our first 2 quarters. Now let's throw it over to our pal Scott Hansen. He's got our halftime report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. back out to our commentary team, Kate Scott and Brock Heward.
The Rams ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. They've certainly had no issues scoring, but their opponents have been right there with them, so they could really use some more points on this drive. Now they'll throw out of the gun. On the move, headed right. He's loaded another one up. He's got it inside the 25. And he has stayed productive throughout this game. He's up to the 300-yard mark after that last completion. Really has been a solid showing for him finding his targets. Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play. To throw here on first down. Too much lead on that throw. That falls incomplete ahead of his target.
Well, he went for it all right there. That was a highlight reel waiting to happen if he could connect. So good to get out of the pocket, keep the play alive, but even better defensively to force the incompletion.
And he's got it. It's in close. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stuffed at the 2. They'll break the huddle and come up on first and goal. From the red zone now. Buying some time left. And he will score. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Rams grow the lead coming out of halftime.
That is what I call empty in the tank right there, baby. Giving him all he had. He's not a running quarterback by trade, but he's creative, and he just made him pay.
Are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And unsurprisingly, Brock, a great day on the scoreboard so far for him. Has him with the advantage as we move through this third quarter. Trying to throw here out of the gun. Chased out to his right. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Here's the throw. Escapes out to the left. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And finally, they're able to stop this play from getting any more yards.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
To throw it on first down. He's keeping it. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
He was taken down at the 22-yard line. A gain of 12. First down, Rams.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
Shotgun snap, looking to throw. And wow, nearly a pick on that check down. A bit lucky that he couldn't couldn't hang on to it, and it fell incomplete. 3 quarters in the books from this one. This one not out of reach quite yet, but it is a 2-score game to begin the 4th. All right, still 10 to go here after they almost had an interception on first down. 2nd and 10 now. Escapes the pocket. He's going to keep it this time. And they're going to stop him, but he got enough to make it 1st and goal from the 8.
I can promise you, that was the goal from the moment he took off. He kept his eyes locked on the chains. It's almost like he had a spidey sense. He knew exactly where to get in order to move the sticks and get that critical 1st down.
Working inside the red zone. And this is going to be an LA touchdown. The Rams make it a 3-score game in the 4th.
These touchdowns on the season haven't all looked the same, but boy, has he made a habit of scoring touchdowns on the ground.
Headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And they're already up by 2 scores, Brock, but another one here would really put this one out of reach. Pass play on 1st and 10. Throwing on the run, deep down the middle. Big gain downfield. And he is in. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Rams have likely locked up the win right there. It's a Puka Nacua touchdown.
First thing you do as a quarterback, the first thing that you do when you get to the NFL level, if you haven't learned it earlier, is you scan those safeties. Do I got middle field open or close? Do I got a single eye or too high? Is that post going to be available? Because if it is, big plays can follow.
The Rams who take this one on the road. Yet another win for them, Brock. And now, I don't know. Are they talking about it? Are they thinking about it but not talking about it? They're officially over halfway now to a perfect season.
Yeah, I don't think they're talking about the 72 Dolphins yet or the 07 Patriots, but I do think they're believing. They're believing they can find ways to win, and they're doing it every single week.